It's a Saturday afternoon. When I last checked, the Springboks were 29 up, give or take.
I don't watch rugby.
We're a red card down.
Who are we playing?
Italy.
Okay.
Another game where we started with an early red card, so 2 weeks in a row now. I couldn't be more delighted to leave the screen to come and chat to what I and many would consider a legend, although you're very humble, and I know I'm not going to get it out of you, which is great.
Yeah.
But John Wakefield, who is the Science to Sport, one of the Science to Sport founders, along with Jeroen, and is currently working at Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe. I'm not going to butcher the exact title, but if you wouldn't mind just taking us through that current role. Thank you so much for your time.
Sure.
Thank you, Alex, for putting us in touch. The ever-giving legend that is Alex Blake.
He held a gun to my head. This is he conned me into it. It was like he gave me hope and he pushed me away. so I'll deal with Alex after this.
Well, let's see how it goes. Maybe you won't be in too much trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
John, thank you so much for sitting with us.
Sure, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
If you don't mind, I'd like to start with present day, where you are and what you're doing, and jump back to the beginning, the story arc I'd like to follow for myself as an interested, person, seeing someone from South Africa achieving at great levels. It's kind of become a theme in the last few episodes. We had Aaron Borrell on, who's working at Cycling Weekly, and he's kind of like instilled this theme of South Africans are so much better than they think they are, but it's a perception problem. Like, we play in the big leagues. I think about you, I think about Jeroen. It's like, shit, he's right. Like, we're up there.
Yeah.
And I'd love to cover that sort of story arc of where it started, how you got there, how the hell you're in the position that you're in.
I don't know either, to be honest. Someone thinks I'm good at my job.
And some of the froth around what that means, what that entails, what it's like to be in the circus that you're in that moves around all over the world.
Yeah.
So please, if you don't mind, if we can start with some present day, where you are, what you're doing.
Sure.
And take us back to...
Currently live in Andorra, sort of border of Spain, border of France. Before that, when I did move to Europe, I moved to Girona. We opened up a business there at the same time, performance related. But then over the last few years, I've moved residency to Andorra. When I'm not there, I'm sleeping in hotel rooms, to be honest. That's a story of my life. Kind of do travel a lot due to the job. Like in 10 months, you do sort of like 160 days away from home. So it's quite a huge volume of time away. But if you need any airport skills, I'm your guy, from that side. But currently for this new year, going into the new year, it's director of coaching, sports science and technical development at Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. This year now, 2025, I, along with another gentleman, Tim Mason, we create, when Red Bull came over, a very strong point of theirs is development. So they want to take a young kid, develop him all the way through and, win a monument, win the Tour de France with what they would call their own rider. So we set up that development project, so under 19, under 23s, really successful in the first year. It really exceeded expectations. I'm super grateful for the staff and everything that kind of came along for that ride. And then, they presented, after some discussions, taking on this new role within sort of the whole organization and the WorldTour team. So going back to that and, here I am today. That's it. Short version.
Once again, I'm very grateful that we're sitting with you.
Yeah.
And I'd love to come back to that, the role, the intricacy is this isn't your first rodeo. You've rubbed shoulders at the top level with many different teams. And I think viewers, myself included, would just love to know all the frothy, obvious questions you've probably answered 1,000 times. But then if we may go back to the beginning, where did you grow up? What do the formative years look like? And eventually build up to that, how the hell did you get it right?
Grew up here in Cape Town, born and bred. Grew up initially in Pinelands, but then moved sort of southern suburbs, kind of middle of school, after school. Was always kind of active sport-wise at school, like I think everybody is at the end of the day. School wasn't a strong point for me, but I enjoyed the sports side.
Where was school?
I did Pinelands High for 2 years, and then I went to private colleges after that until matric. And then I surfed a lot, as you do in Cape Town. Just did a bunch of sporting stuff, partied a bit, as everyone does. And then, but when I was young and stuff, I'd always race motocross, and I was always very much involved with motorbikes and or go-karts or whatever was motorized. And then when I got out of school, I got back on a motocross bike, and I raced motocross for a good couple of years. Some injuries happened, and I kind of stopped racing, but then I was always into the training aspect of it. So it was almost like I enjoyed Monday to Friday of the training, but I didn't really enjoy the racing that much, as weird as that sounds.
Interesting.
And when I stopped, a guy that I was living with at the time had said to me, "Oh, can you help me, just train me," and stuff like that. I was working a job, a loose job. And then it just kind of manifested from that super quickly. Did probably 8-9 years within that. Managed to get overseas. Actually got offered a job at KTM Red Bull to run their or to train their 250 program in the States, in Florida. I turned that down. Well, I didn't turn it down. It was a very serious consideration. But then I was already with UAE Team Emirates and from the cycling side. So I did turn that down eventually then. But leading into that, I wanted to do something. And because of an injury, I got on a bicycle, as you do, because you can't run in that. And the gentleman that was doing my rehabilitation was an ex-Springbok mountain bike road cyclist, cross country and stuff. So he got me into the road bike thing. And through that, I met very quickly Jeroen Swart. Really quickly after getting on the bicycle for some reason. I can't remember exactly how, but a friend introduced us, but I don't know why I was introduced to him. And then because I was still super involved with the motocross, really phenomenal doctor, so if there were injuries and stuff, he was actually my contact guy. And I'd say, hey, this guy's got a shoulder or a knee or whatever. Jeroen would help me out. And then we kind of formed a friendship, I would say that. And then it was odd, the one day he just said to me, "Oh, have you thought about doing cycling training as a coach?" And I was like, "No, never ever thought of it." Yeah, it had never crossed my mind. And I was like, "No."
But at that point, sorry to interrupt, are you coaching?
Yes, on the motocross side.
So you're coaching riders to be fitter or technically?
Both. So on the bike and off the bike. Okay. And then I started a team, and then it turned out eventually to be, over the years, as it grew, it became, essentially Honda's factory team in South Africa. So I had that.
Can you give me some names of that era? Is that there was Richie that was really good?
So Van der Westhuizen. Okay. Anthony
Rattray,
sorry?
Rattray?
No, he was already gone. He had already left South Africa. The Fitzgerald brothers, Michael Koch.
Many would say the golden era of, in some ways, recently at least.
Yeah, recent. I would say that golden era a little bit was before that. I would say that golden era was the Dennis Hewittsons and the Peter Wrigglesworth era a little bit. Kind of even before that, I think the 90s were much stronger.
Actually, now that I think about it.
The golden era of SA motocross was quite far back.
There is one.
Yeah,
and you
definitely
raced competitively for a while.
I did. I was okay.
I frothed massively for motocross bikes. I had no idea that was part of it. So I feel I have to detour there slightly.
Yeah, so that's my background is motocross. Okay. And then by accident, because I knew someone, I fell into that.
That is unreal.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. And your local, because there's Zone 7, so what were some of the tracks like? Where was your local?
Yeah, so my local originally was Claybrick, which was on the opposite side of the road where the dump is now, to Zone 7.
Okay.
Killarney, obviously, and then in its heyday was also, which was in the 80s, was Malmesbury back in the day.
What was that like?
That was really good. That track was really, really good.
I was never competitive. I've never been competitive at anything, to be fair.
Except the podcast game.
Oh, that's formative years.
Yeah, fair play.
Pray God we get there.
Yeah.
But I didn't know Richie Watt at all, but from a distance, he did all the graphics kits.
Yeah, correct. Race Star.
I have this tendency to go all into things so that you like absorb everything about everything. And guys spoke about how good things used to be.
Yeah.
Like we were going to at that stage Dirt Bronco. I don't know if you've
I
been
know
there.
it well. Yeah.
Which I thought was just like mind-blowing. They built a supercross track opposite the...
track.
Yeah, it was, well, and guys were saying like, no, you've got no idea. There was once an MXGP or something, and there was this mad step down. And in the one magazine, they had a picture, and I think that was Snellspruit somewhere there.
That was Picotto's track is what it was. So Victor Picotto owned the track, and then Angelo was his one son. Really cool kid, and he actually rode on my team for a year.
Okay, so that's your era. That's
that was my era.
To the viewers, I apologize, but this is me placing John personally in. So I had no idea. Okay, that's epic.
And then, as I said, fell into the cycling by chance with Jeroen. And then I'm super grateful. He helped me a lot. I would say with everything related to cycling coaching and processes and testing, and introduced me to biomechanics and stuff. As I said, super grateful. And then I don't know the exact date, but maybe within a year or a year and a half of that, which was 2011, if I'm correct, 2010, 2011, he had Science to Sport, but I think I was his client, to be honest, or one or two guys. He had sort of just branched off on that from a personal journey with himself. And then from that, we kind of, went into business together. I remember at one stage when we had like 20 athletes on our books, we were like, mate, we've made it. That's it. I'll never forget that. And, there was even a time when, like, we still joke about it now, but like, we were like, oh, fuck, you have to pay tax, So, we made enough money to pay tax. So, that's kind of where it started.
And for anyone that knows the two of you, I mean, you guys are at the absolute top of the sport.
Yeah, he's...
the context to that is just insane.
Yeah, so we started like that.
Were you always... Because obviously now you guys are there in Newlands.
Yes.
Was that remote back in the day? Was that like is this a garage, out of our garage?
Yeah, a little bit out of, like, the postal address was Jeroen's house in Newlands.
Okay.
Obviously the coaching is remote anyway. But then the bigger it grew, obviously, yes, we run Cape Town out of Science to Sport in Newlands. We have Girona as well. We have a really big facility there, or a large facility there. And then we have a working relationship with a laboratory and a testing facility, performance facility in Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
There's a guy in Joburg he was my first Science to Sports interaction. He also did motocross. He's now in Girona. Daryl.
It's my man.
Yeah. He was big into his biking.
Yeah, he was really
Just
good.
see all those number boards.
Yeah, correct.
National champ.
Yeah, Malto, him and Kerem. So he
badass.
Yeah, so me and him went back also like 20 years now, at least. But we hated each other, right? Like, really, we hated each other. When it was motocross times, we were like this. And he also had like a thing for injuries and that, unfortunately. And he made contact with me the one day, and he was like, would you be open to training me? And I was like, I don't like you. And he was like, look, I don't like you either, but it's good for business, both sides.
Yeah, sure.
So we were like, and we literally had a handshake. We were like, okay, we'll do this, but we're not mates. Like, we're not going to now sing Kumbaya. And now he's my best mate. He'll bury a dead body for me. When I needed someone in Girona, I was like, mate, I need you to come over. I need you to come and do this.
Yeah.
Jumped on a plane, packed his family up, and away he went.
I was there.
Yeah.
He was pretty much packing up his house.
Yeah.
I went to go do Richie Baxter.
Okay.
Was my original coach.
Yes.
And I was like, you're in the all-in phase.
Yeah.
Go and prick your ear and get to this and get to that.
Yeah.
I'm still like 20 kgs heavier than I am now, but you're all in.
Yeah, of course.
So this is the guy. Yeah, so that sucked so bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
Richie Baxter's now overseas. And
I think he's in Australia. Right?
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
You come to Cape Town, and it's like, one name floats out there. It's like, obviously, Science to Sports.
Yeah.
But in this era, it's Reece McDonald. Like,
he's a legend.
Guys.
Phenomenal at what he does, eh? I will say
Praise
that.
the ground he cycles on.
Yeah.
Love.
Phenomenal at very quick learner. He really
That
good
guy's
guy.
mind is something else.
Yeah.
You ask him a question about nutrition.
He's
and
like
it's
a squirrel on meth.
whoa,
Is what he's
a
like.
squirrel on me.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
phenomenal guy. Yeah.
So you guys form Science to Sport.
Yes. And then and then it grew, like, to be honest, like really quickly. So we needed to bring on more staff. And,
Cycling.
Yeah, cycling.
Always cycling.
It was cycling and triathlon, but very, very low on the triathlon side. But cycling based. So like,
is there a reason for that?
No, just for no reason other than obviously our main focus was cycling. Like now we do have quite a big component of triathlon. We've also now brought, which was now this week, we brought Brad Wise on. So he'll be running our triathlon department if you're program for us. We brought Devon Kutsi on from the running side. So like we've needed to expand services for the services that essentially are being asked. But the majority was cycling, obviously. And then we also got involved with, like, from managing the performance programs of some of the local teams and that. So it grew pretty quickly, to be honest. And then Jeroen and I were always like, take over the world. It's our kind of theory of what we have between us. I think it drives the other directors.
Has that ambition always been baked in?
Yeah, it's always. We always like,
never, let's just go in and make sure that there's enough left over to feed ourselves.
It's our motto is to take over the world.
And where does that come from? Any clues?
I don't know. Like, it's just, I think we both super A-type personalities, to be honest, like really A-type. Although his is a bit different to my A, but I think that's what makes us really a good team, where he'll be like, I'm going to kill that guy. I'm like, no, not yet. And then I'm going to kill him. And Jeroen's like, no, not yet. So it's... and
then Daryl's burying the bodies.
Yeah, no, Daryl's burying the bodies when we phone him. And Reese is like, I've got nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
So I feel, yes, we business partners, but we have a super close relationship,
Right.
So it's, he understands me and stuff. And we've been on a, like, as I said, from where we are to where we are now, that journey's gone the same way.
Yeah.
And then how it kind of landed up on the overseas side was we wanted to open up overseas. That was always a goal. Hey, we need to get a footprint into Europe. And we had teamed up. We went through to Spain, and we actually were in Girona, like on the outskirts and stuff. And we were speaking to these other people, and we said, look, we'll supply, all the IP, and we'll supply the equipment and that, but and we'll teach you up, and then you run this, and it's like a share, and then we'll come over and see how it's going. So that was kind of like and they had the facility and the property and stuff. So we thought it was a win-win.
Good JV.
Yeah, they wanted it. We wanted to give it. It was a great process. And then obviously we were riding some bikes around Girona, and as you do, and his phone rang, and on the side of the road, and he's doing his meeting or whatever, chatting on the phone, and it was essentially UAE saying, hey, would you be keen on the head of medical, position for the team? And
how do they know who he is? Where does that come from?
He has I say reputation, but a really good reputation in that field, whether it's performance from the medical, whether it's the coaching performance side. So
I asked the question from the point of, if there is, like I said before we were rolling the cameras, if there's someone that has a medical inclination, loves performance, loves sport, like I understand the flurry of things that you got to go through to make any business even remotely successful. Yeah. And I would imagine it's, in his case and yours, there's going to be a theme of, dream big, do big, reputation,
build it,
that kind of stuff. So there wasn't some like miraculous moment where one lucky thing got through. It was just, he had a reputation established over servicing athletes at a high level, and somehow that rolled up into someone at UAE hearing about this guy enough times that it's like, hey, phone him.
Yeah, hey, what's the deal? Because they were also restructuring for that following season. So they were kind of doing a clean out of the old, coming in with the new and out with the old.
What year is that, and what are some of the names, just to try and frame that for anyone?
That was 2018, the beginning of middle 2018 is when that phone call happened. Okay. No, so I think early 2018 actually, if I think of a timeline. So that phone call happened then. And then what was it? I was at that same time I was speaking loosely, but it got quite serious with another WorldTour team. I'd done sort of 2 interviews, and kind of we were in progress, if you call it that, because it's quite a lot of kind of detailed. If you don't know someone or whatever on the team, it's quite a hell of an interview process.
Okay.
And then the UAE thing came across my desk to go, hey, would you be interested from a coaching aspect to come on as one of the coaches? And then I was kind of like weighing up my odds here. And then both teams...
What a situation to be.
And then both teams went dead quiet, like nothing. Yeah. And I was like, whatever. But Jeroen stuff was obviously still rolling in the background. And then the other team came on, and then UAE came back on. And I remember I was coming back I did some race with Dono. And I was coming back, and I got a message saying, your phone's going to ring, you need to answer the phone. And I was on the N2 or N1, and I just, like, in case of reception and that, I was like, I'm not going to mess this up. Pulled over on the side of the N1, like around Century City Place, and I didn't have aircon on. I did nothing because I wanted it to be like as if I'm sitting in an office, and I was like projectile sweating, man. I was on fire in this car. And did like a full hour interview on the side of the road with UAE, and then it went dead quiet for like quite a while.
Is that the way of things? Is that how?
I don't know. Like, when I say my Bora approach was also a little bit different. Like, it was the same, but it was a little bit different. But also a lot of action, quiet. And then that was like a Sunday or something. And then the Tuesday, the other WorldTour team phoned. And then they went quiet, and they were meant to meet me on the Saturday. And nothing happened. I sent a message. I'm like, hey, we're still meeting. Ghosted, absolutely nothing.
That's nuts.
And then the Monday, I get a mail on my computer, and it's a flight to Abu Dhabi from UAE saying, hey, you're flying tomorrow or on the Wednesday.
That's it.
Yeah, you're flying on the Wednesday. We'll see you in Abu Dhabi. I was like, okay. It was a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. So like I said to my wife, I'm like, what do I do? I'm dealing with this team, but this one's now, they've sent me a ticket, but no contract. Like, I don't really know what's going on. And she was like, well, they've sent you a ticket.
Yeah.
They never met with you.
They're invested.
Go with the ticket, even if nothing comes from it. So now it's Abu Dhabi. I'm full of tattoos. It's not illegal, but it's kind of, and I'm like, okay, these guys haven't really seen me from the neck down. Hooked it to like, I don't know, Woolworths or something, bought a whole bunch of long sleeve light shirts, long pants, like 5, 6 of them, jumped on a plane on the Wednesday, flew that night, all the way through the night, got there at like 6 a.m. or 4 a.m. or something. And at like 8 a.m., they gave me a protocol, and they were like, oh, you need to start testing riders. And I was like, what? And it was just chaos, mate. And I was stuck in like basically the Sheik's private gym at his palace or whatever you want, or his residence. And it was myself and like 3 other coaches, and we were just it was a conveyor belt, like a hamster wheel of just testing these riders, mate. And then we got wined and dined, but like still nothing. Nobody really said anything. Got slapped on a plane, flew home, and obviously there's Wi-Fi on the plane, and my wife's like, "Hey, how was it?" And I was like, "It's just quite a wild experience. I'm not gonna lie, but like." She's like, "Do you have a contract? What's the deal?" I was like, "No, nobody said shit to me," And I was like, "But you know what? Like, I got a free ride. I got to like test Fabio Aru at the time, and I was like, it was a good day. Like it was great." And then, literally, while I was messaging her, like a contract came through. Hey, sorry, it was chaotic, but here's a contract.
So, when you there testing, are they assessing your ability to test?
I don't know what they were doing, mate.
Or
like,
I mean,
I wouldn't say
testing,
that. Yes, definitely they are. But
is that your interview? Like, let's say how this guy works under extreme conditions.
Yeah, I suppose it was. And when I think back, I don't think that was the plan. I don't think that was on the memo for the day. It's like let's throw this guy in the deep end. But like a warning would have been great. On the plane.
Certainly a good. I mean, if I think about the little bit that I've seen, the circus of I mean, WorldTour is one thing and Tour de France is one thing, but the whole thing is, it is a circus.
No, 100%.
So seeing how someone adapts with so little information, send a ticket. I mean, you could have picked a better nation than a South African.
Yeah, exactly. Because you hustle. Like that's what you do. And,
how many riders would you say you tested? Like,
I probably tested 14, 15 guys.
Like VO2 max?
It was lactate accumulation. So it was a long test. It was like some guys were doing over an hour. So you had to like really be on it. But what was great is they had like staff there that worked for the palace, you know, and you just were like, hey, I need this. And they brought it to you. So it was
when you say palace or like just this UMMR?
Like the Sheik's
ridiculous.
Palace, mate. No,
wild.
Yeah, it's a Sheik's
impressive.
Palace. Yeah, it's impressive, mate.
Okay.
It's impressive.
A notch up on Bishop's Court.
Yeah, it makes Bishop's Court look like where I live, you know.
Okay. Rad experience. So you come back from there, you get a contract. What is that contract?
That contract was 1 year.
And you are?
A coach. No, just a plain coach. So I got allocated a bunch of riders and away I went.
What are the KPIs? What is the job of the coach?
Make sure that guys are good, you know, that their form and fitness is correct.
So a rider finishes a race, had a shit race. You're accountable.
Yeah, I'm accountable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
High pressure.
Yeah, super high pressure. Like 100% high pressure.
Did you have people that made your job difficult?
Easy? I did. Yeah, I did. I had one guy that made my life exceptionally difficult.
Not following what you're telling him to do and then farming.
Oh, no. So, from a rider point, there's many.
From all different.
Yeah, so like there was a guy that was within our performance department that he made my life pure hell. Like it was as simple as that.
Okay.
But you managed him accordingly. But then from a rider point, you get really good riders that follow everything and they great communication and that, and then you get the other guys. You know, so just because they WorldTour, it's not every single guy is
load recovery and you got intervals.
Yeah, there's guys that you go, well, you had an hour and a half recovery and you've banged out 6 hours behind a scooter, mate. Yeah, that's what I felt like today. And you're like, mate, it doesn't work that way.
Is there room for that at all in that level? Or stick to the program?
Not in today's modern, what I call modern cycling. Like you can't really look at. There's always interaction. It's like, you know, hey, how you feeling? Blah blah. You know, you speak to the guys every day.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes twice a day. You know, so
sure, that's
you know, so you're like in the morning, hey, how you feeling? Whatever, basic chit chat, and then you know, how was training, whatever the case may be. So from that side, you know, guys still go, if we call it rogue, but it's not like. Maybe I'm just lucky, but I don't really have that bunch. Okay. And our team, we don't really have that.
And I mean, how did that go? How did that role go? Did you?
It was good. Like they renewed me. They offered me a renewal like super quick. Like they offered me another 2 years on that. I'd probably say like 3 months into the job, which is
not
really,
the norm,
hey?
Right? I mean that's
no, I don't.
You've done well if you've given.
Yeah, I think that. Okay. So they renewed that super quick. So essentially, I had like 3 years, you know, if you want to call it that. And then I got another year after that at the tour. That was until 22. And then I'd moved from the coaching to like the performance coordinator. So it was just managing performance-related matters. So like altitude camps or the TT days and stuff like that. And then...
Are you at any point throughout this whole process like, oh my God, I'm doing this?
Oh, every day, mate.
Okay, so...
it wasn't like I'm doing this. I'm like, what am I doing?
Okay.
So it was more like...
that is the...
very quick learning experience.
Top level. I mean, there's nothing...
It was good though. But like what I always did was, like I surrounded myself with people that I felt I could get what I needed out of them. So like... You know, at Science to Sport, they always joke that, you know, I've got an honorary doctorate because I use what I think Jeroen is good at. I use what I think Mike is, and I take all that in and I kind of...
Which is a skill in and of itself.
Yeah, regurgitate it for myself, and I then implement that going forward. You know, so I kind of have gone through life a little bit like that. You know, like I always joke, but it's the wrong thing to say. Like I've got friends I haven't used yet. You know? So
I'm
so like I
piecing it together.
I try build it that way. I was really lucky at UAE to work alongside Alan Piper, though. He kind of took me very much under his wing and taught me a lot of stuff away from performance. So like not within that coaching sports science realm, more just like the day-to-day, how processes work from more like a management sport director side. Okay. I learned a huge volume from him with regards to that, which I'm forever grateful for. So that kind of, I would say, gave me a quick upskirt on a lot of things very quickly. He was exceptionally hard on me, though. I will say that. Like, he gave me shit, mate, daily. But
did that work for you, though? I'm guessing that.
Yeah, like he always, like, you know, which I said it when he got married. I said at his wedding. It's like he'd always, like, he'd throw me into the deep end, but like he wouldn't let you drown. You know, like, but you were close. Yeah. You were really close. Then he'd, like, you know. So for that,
sounds old school.
Yeah, I learned a lot. But at the same time, I'd rather have that. You know, like for myself, I need to do. I don't need to learn. You know, so like if you told me to build a camera, then learning how to build a camera. So, yeah, that was really good. And then, yeah, really great success. I actually can't fault UAE for anything. You know, there was a time, which it was like, you know, they say it's a 5-year itch or whatever. But at the end of 2022, I just, I was a little bit burnt out, I'll be honest. So it wasn't really the team. It was more based around myself. I was a bit burnt out. It was a bit self-inflicted. And I was like, I'm kind of done with teams, you know.
Is it extremely demanding? I mean, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it possible to have balance?
There is possible, but definitely that year I didn't have that balance, you know. So that was self-brought on. And I had a lot of stuff going on and stuff. So for me, I was like, I'm done, you know, kind of like, I want a year sabbatical and see what I want to do in terms of like getting onto a team. And then, however, during that year, 2 teams had reached out and they were like, hey, are you interested? And where are you? The one guy I had a good relationship with, like we weren't mates or anything, we just had a good working relationship. Yeah. Because you get to meet people from other teams and stuff. And that was Dan Lorang which was then Bora Hansgrohe. And I did have a meeting with him. I had a meeting with the other team. And the other team, the reason I went to Bora was I knew Dan, so you know it's good to know someone, you know. And the other team I felt was they wanted to rebuild all over again, and I just felt I didn't have that in me after rebuilding that UAE team.
You knew what it was going to take.
Yeah, and I was like where I am now, I don't know if I have that all in me, and how much actual benefit I would give if I'm mentally not into it. So I was like, you know, that's not the project for me. And then Dan's one from Bora, in fairness, it was a super good, I won't even call it an interview. It was a talk. You know, we had, he asked me lots of questions. I asked him, but then it went quiet again, like dead quiet. And I was like, mate, you know, and then, you know, but it was fine. Like I had no
Someone from HR needs to come and tell us why things go quiet.
Go quiet. And then, you know, he came back to me and he said to me, and this was just after they won the Giro with Jai Hindley. And he came back to me and he said, hey, you know, the owner, Rolf Denk, is going to give you a call Monday and just discuss more of the business side with him. So I was like, cool. 10 o'clock in the morning, boom, guy phones me, which I was like, I like
Not on the side of the highway?
No, I wasn't on the side of the highway. I was at home in my boxers or something and had a really good chat with him. And it wasn't super long, but like a really good, more just business, like what do I want, what do they want, etc. But then it went quiet again. I was like, okay, it's over. And I was at total peace with it, you know, and I had told UAE, I just said, hey guys, like, you know, it's thanks very much. It's the end of the road for me. They, in fairness, which I did respect a lot, they were like, you know, why or whatever. And I gave them 1 or 2 reasonings and they were super compassionate with it. And they were like, hey, we can, you know, do this if you stay. And I was like, no, it's me.
So good to hear.
Yeah. So I am super grateful for that. But as I said, it was me.
They got a good culture there. They're not just robotic.
No, it's a good. They good people at UAE. And then I was happy with it. And then I was actually riding bikes with Donovan Lecoq and no, Mats D'Amato. I was going to say Alex, but it was Mats D'Amatos. And we're at the base of Alpe d'Huez. And I get a call saying, oh, can you go into like a video call now, like a couple of minutes? And I was like, mate.
Come on.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, of course.
Obviously.
As you do. Sat in the car, actually. And I sat in the car and went
You
to
do amazing things in cars.
Yeah, it's incredible. And did the call in the car, and they came back and they said, hey, which was actually really good. They were like, we'll give you a bit of a long-term contract, but next year it's half days, half salary, half riders. And I was like, that's actually really good, because as I said, I was a bit cooked, I was a bit burnt out, and I was like, this gives me a lot more freedom, and it takes me, it's a slow introduction to learning 250 people in a team and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. And landed up doing more days than I did at UAE and riders, and here I am today.
Obviously.
Yeah, naturally. But it was good.
At least you knew that the pressure wasn't there, that was the expectation. And that's probably half the stress gone.
Yeah, so, enjoyed it, different to UAE, to where it is now, where the team was, what I came across on. But now where the team's going, it's in a really good place. Yeah.
A quick one on UAE before we talk Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe, which was obviously Bora before. If you look at, they are undeniably the most dominant
100%.
team ever, potentially, if you look at their performance by many metrics. Is a lot of that structure behind present-day performance part of what was built in that era where you were rebuilding?
It wasn't only me. So, it was guys.
I'm saying as a team, that structure that set them up for so much success.
I do. They've obviously improved that. And 10 out of 10 to them, especially with Jeroen going from medical to head of performance and stuff. He would have brought in a really structured approach. So the year I left, he came in that next year, and that is, in fairness, when they did have a big projection. So from that side, I do believe, and I'll say this maybe arrogantly, that the work we did to get that skeleton is right. The team was, in 2018, I think they were 14th or 15th in the ranking, and then they were 5th in 2019.
It's a ridiculous difference.
Which is, it's a huge jump. And then fair enough, I think 2020, we won the tour in 2020 with Tadej. A little bit of fluke, in fairness, but it was, we still won it at the end of the day. And we won a lot of races that year, and it was because there was really good structures that had started coming into place and modern methodologies and stuff like that. So, to say, is it everything? No, but did it start there? Yeah, 100%.
So the reason I asked that question, I can't remember who the street legend goes, and you can tell me if this is true or not. You coach with Reese or anyone from you, if you're a Science to Sports coached athletes, you're directly benefiting from the same IP Teddy is and these other teams. Like it's the same minds cooking up these programs. Like that knowledge you're getting, some way, shape, or form.
Or if you look at the other way, the knowledge you're getting, we're giving it up.
Well,
we're gonna look at it that way, right?
And it's like, I was like, oh, that's such a great elevator pitch. And then Jeroen came back and he did Reese actually let me know he was speaking at Science to Sports.
Yes.
In one of the brief moments he was back. I'll indulge any of that. I absolutely loved it. And he spoke a lot about, the detail he goes into. It was just insane across lots of different things.
Yeah.
The majority of which I didn't understand. But what was extremely clear is how much of what is achieved has to do with structure, process, methodology. Like there was this like a never-ending infinity loop going between those things. Like yes, you need an athlete, and yes, you need the best food, but there's that sort of intertwined never-endingly, and this idea that two of the people that were inspiring that and architecting this performance are South African. Just I can't get over it.
Yeah.
It's like there isn't this other person from this other country that has this doctorate or this thing or this experience that's piecing it together. There's these two maverick South Africans that close deals in cars.
One maverick and me.
eternally humble, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's like, where does that knowledge of all those things? It's not a thing. It's not like I went and I studied and I understand biochemistry. It's this packaging of what it takes to succeed. Is that knowledge just you guys happen to have it because of your dynamic, or like, can you put that to anything?
I don't know if you can put it. I think it's just the way we are, to be honest, like his drive, my drive, and kind of how we see things from a performance side, which I did. I had a conversation with someone earlier this morning, someone who I hold dear in terms of performance. And, I say it was with regards to a paper and stuff and something that came across our desk. And I said to him, hey, this is what I see, but I don't know how to put it out into words, and I said, this is it. I need you to be able to put it out into words. And it's like, I can look at a training program and I can tell you what's wrong with it. Well, I know what's wrong with it and I'll make some changes, or how it can be better. Let's not say it's wrong, but I have a hard time trying to express that, where Jeroen can express stuff like that, but yet if I tell him, oh, this is my problem, he'll know how to get the best out of it.
Yeah, I got you.
So it works well from that. But, also going back to that structured side is I had that structure very much in my motocross team. It was, and I know this will sound arrogant, but it was at the time the best run team, from training to logistics to what we got, what the riders got. And we took a lot of like good riders. They weren't the best, but we won championships every single year. And, a lot of people then, which, Daryl can tell you in that, like I wasn't the most well-liked guy in the motocross circles. I was like told I was full of shit, or, I was this and that, but it was just because you had those structures in place. And it wasn't, I think at the time in motocross, I don't think it was the right time for it. Motocross wasn't in the right place. But then, we just transferred that sort of structure and workings to our company, especially in terms of like, validations or methodologies for like philosophies, etc. And then just putting performance structures into place. And that's what you need to be able to see.
It's incredible. I won't get over it. And I don't think anyone would or should.
Yeah.
In this period of time, present day, then, what is your guys' role in science to sport? I would imagine there's very little time for that, or?
No, we're still like actively involved, but we really have phenomenal staff, and a lot of our processes within science to sport is about educating and lifting staff up. So, as an example, Reese coming on just as a coach, and now he's head of performance at like in Buco, as opposed to just being a coach. So from us to uplift, it's a very strong kind of vision of us on what we want to do with staff within the company. So it's like we're still actively involved, but there's enough time and people in place that we can do our jobs there.
Such a leadership visionary type role.
Correct.
It's amazing.
I won't say it's a helicopter role, but it's kind of like
but there is that like working and on the business is two different things.
Yeah, so everybody has like really important stuff going on. Like within whatever they do, but that's kind of how we structure.
To hear when or if you ever take a break. Doesn't sound like there's many of those gaps.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest with you, I don't. But I will one day.
Make sure of that. You would know better than anyone.
Yeah.
The importance of balance for performance, right? Or is that a myth?
No, it's like no, it's not a myth. It's like do as I say, not do as I do.
Yeah.
That's where the problem comes in with me.
Yeah. Okay, so Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe.
Yes.
That is present day.
Correct.
What is Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe that Bora Hansgrohe wasn't? What's the gap there? What's really changed in real terms?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Title sponsor, mentality, obviously.
Yeah, basic is title sponsor first and foremost. But what they brought in a lot was some beneficial from a performance aspect. That, again, not only because of the financial, but they gave us access to performance-related stuff that we didn't have access to before, and not in the quantity of what we have now. So just talking selfishly from the performance side, that was really great.
Equipment, IP.
Yeah, some equipment, IP. Like, don't get me wrong, the people on the team are like, we have a phenomenally intelligent group. It's just getting access to those performance related stuff, and that's what it allowed us to do. And yes, they brought performance brains and stuff in, but it's not like they cleaned the house and came in. It was working.
Added to
it added to the armor.
So as an organization, they bring that. When they put their name to something, they literally bring that.
They go all in.
I love it.
Like, it's
okay. So this isn't just
it's not a hobby for them.
Sticking a logo on our team. Like, they're coming out to disrupt.
Yeah, which is exactly what their goal is. But a really good bunch of people, I will say that. Some really intelligent guys. Like, I've made some good friendships with new people in the team that have come in because of the availability of Red Bull. But the culture in that has stayed kind of, it's changed because it's high performance and stuff, but the culture is still similar, and that's what I think is a really good feeling for the team. But what's going on is it's always to be the best. It's Red Bull. That's what they want.
And what are some of the big changes beyond the access and that kind of stuff? I mean, it's impossible to not draw to the obvious team roster. There's been some names that have dropped there that are very exciting.
Correct.
Does that change things for you?
Yeah, it does, obviously.
High profile.
Yeah, high profile rider. So, if you look at our team now, we've got, what is it? It's like 1, 2, 3, I think like 4 Grand Tour winners, like, which no other team has got, just in our roster. So you have now Remco, he's won a Grand Tour, Jai Hindley's won a Grand Tour, Primož Roglic has won a Grand Tour. It's just going to be so bad if I can't remember the rest. But, when you look at
depth, crazy depth.
When you look at that, or then you go, okay, well, who's below that? And we got guys that have been on the podium. Like, you have Florian Lipovic, who's still up and coming. He was third at the Tour this year.
He was so impressive.
So you look at that, and you have Alex Vlasov, he was 5th at the Tour 2 years ago. So you sit there and you go like, okay, there's monsters here. Yeah. From a Grand Tour perspective, and then you have youngsters coming up, like under 23 world champ Lorenzo Finn, massive talent. So it's there. It's now just making sure that you put the puzzle together, and you get the best pathway going forward, and you bring it close and you go forward. All of that, I would say is, has been part of that that morphing and changing into the team that it can become.
Would you say this is one of the most exciting chapters you've had? I mean, I just, those names.
Yeah.
Like, we, as a spectator, we draw on these things, but I'm just like, it must feel like you're sitting on the precipice of greatness.
Yeah, it is. Like, I will say, I felt, not that I'm not proud every year, but the 2020 year, take away Tade's Tour win, but that 2020 year I was at UAE, I was super proud. Like, for what we did, the projects I was luckily involved in, and yes, it accumulated with Tade winning the Tour. But it was like, I was super proud that year.
Even if that hadn't happened,
even if he was on the podium, because he was going to land on the podium anyway. So if he was first, second, or third, those feelings would have been the same. So that was a really special year for me. And then I will say this year in total has been super special. Like, I had, Florian was third at the Tour. Our development project was highly successful. Like, it was really phenomenal. Like, super close to my heart on it. It was hard moving away from being the director of that project, but what they did, the staff, mainly the staff, to be honest, they were phenomenal, and how we kind of, hey, this is a day one thing, let's go. It was a really phenomenal year. And then, now it's like, we have some new riders, super strong guys like Remco, as we've mentioned. We've got 1 or 2 new staff in. So you want to always capitalize on that following year. But obviously when you do that, there's pressure. So,
and your specific outputs for your role in the team, what are your KPIs for John?
got to win bike races. That's it. Bottom line, it's just one.
Yeah.
But essentially, my department is the coaching groups, our performance group. So I oversee the whole group and work with them. Then the sports science side department is everything related to sports science. So, like as an example, is this heat protocol good to whatever, sleeping late at night and everything science related in between that. And then from the technical development department is like obviously the aerodynamic side, biomechanics, tires, gearing. But I will say I have some phenomenal people, like our data scientist, I call him Morpheus. He's
Blue Bull, Red Bull.
So, from that side, there's phenomenal people in those jobs, which should hopefully make me look like I know what I'm doing.
I think you've established that by now, for sure.
But yeah, it's good. It's a new role. I will say it's been a good start. Like it's been a lot in the start, but that kind of, how do you say it? That like line of performance is what keeps you going.
Yeah. What's the first big one on the calendar for you? What date? What event?
For me, my look at all of the races now in modern cycling are important. Like you don't have a race where, back in the day you would send a guy to go train for the tour. Like those days are over. You go to racing now to race bikes. Like every race is the hardest race you'll go to. That's what modern cycling is in today's times. So it's not to say that these races are more important, but for me, based on my history and that, especially at UAE and with Alan Piper, and that my whole thing revolves around the tour. Like to be honest, it's it's
big focal point.
It's a tour. That's it. People don't understand what it is, but at the same time, like Tour Down Under starts kind of end of January. Like that's the first most important race. So.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, that's it. You want to, as a team in general, you want to start well there, get the momentum going, and you go into UAE Tour or Hain or whatever, and then, into the classics, which is huge, in its own right. It's, if you ever get a chance, go to opening weekend.
We're doing Belgium this year over Easter.
Okay.
So we'll be there.
You don't know what you're walking into, bud.
I'm taking my family, which I'm nervous about. I have a 1-year-old. I told you I was at swimming lessons with her today.
Yeah.
It's her first Easter. And I'm like, I don't want to miss entering this race. And Oaks are telling me you're going to get beer and mud on you. So I'm like, if I can keep them in a nice hotel, go on the Saturday, we're going to do the 100-mile.
Yeah.
Sunday, if I can go to the race, my wife has said, like, go enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting beer or mud thrown on me.
Yeah.
And we'll go to Euro Disney afterwards. But I'm like, I really want to balance those two things. So we will be there.
Soak it in. That's all I can say.
Wild.
It's absolutely wild. You'll love it, mate.
We really want to try. The challenge with our glorious currency. But we went to, through Carl Mitchell and 226s. We're extremely lucky and got to go with Jumbo last year. They do that hospitality thing.
Yeah, correct.
I couldn't have imagined that access. You're like at the bus as the door opens, and it was the Mont Ventoux stage.
Ah, fantastic.
Where, what's his name, attacked Teddy.
Yeah.
And we were on the bend, watching the bend there where Jonas attacked him.
Yes.
And then they came past. It's just like, nothing can prepare you. You know that.
Yeah.
So the plan is to try and figure out through the Act of Hoba how we can get to a couple big races next year. And go and pro bono film the content, and
I'll tell you now, it's going to be tough.
Very. No, I know that.
Just as a reference point.
There are some. There's a few guys that are like. Yeah. There's opportunities. So we're going to try and get there, and you go and look for it.
Yeah.
You go and look for you can go and find a video of exactly what it's like to be at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, for sure.
Or a Ramstein concert where you can feel it.
Yeah.
You go and look for the same thing, and it's like cyclists going past, whatever, Van der Poel attacking on a climb. It's like, no, but where's the Yorkshire telling me there's going to be beer in my face and people going mental? Where's that video?
Yeah.
No, there's.
Sure. Yeah, it's
maybe for good reason.
Classics.
Maybe we'll delete the footage.
Classics are special. Really, it's
Holy Grail stuff.
Yeah, it's phenomenal though. Opening weekend and stuff like that is it's nothing you'll ever experience. Unless you
here.
go back the next year, then you'll experience it again.
Oh,
So it's
I think more South Africans need to go see it.
yeah, they do.
And they don't realize how accessible it is.
Like I always tell people, like, maybe this isn't good advertising, but like, stop going to the races here. Go and experience that. Like, go to, you know, like you spend whatever for a 3-day stage race here, it's like 20, 30 grand or something like that. I don't know what the costs are now anymore. And you sleep in a tent and, you know, or like you're spending 100K to do Epic. It's like, go to Europe, mate.
At least once.
Yeah, like just go and experience it.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually like, I know you mentioned the money now, but like the most, like if you do it well, you can do it super cheap.
Yeah.
You know, like you just need to be sharp with what you do. And, you know, you go like, say that Mont Ventoux Day is a perfect example, or Galibier or Telegraph, whatever it is. It's like, find somewhere close to that, go ride your bike in the fucking Alps, Pyrenees for like 2-3 days, and then hook the mountain.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a different world.
I didn't realize how accessible it is until you go and do it.
Correct.
Because until you've been there, you're like, you don't know. You just assume it's, you can literally fly there, get a train, take a bike, ride up the climb.
Yeah.
You're at
Same climb that they're going in. They just go up a lot faster.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
They're nuts. Eh?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's difficult to comprehend.
Yeah. Like when you on like 34, 36, like 38 at the back, and you're like, I'm going like really well. And then they come up like big blade, middle of the block, just hammering.
Yeah.
It's a different world, eh?
It really is.
Yeah.
And you're smack bang in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not doing the big blade though.
Yeah.
Maybe down the hill.
Yeah. John, I'm mindful of time. I've been spoilt as it is to have you here. I suppose the obvious question would be what your personal objective goal. I know it's one races for the team, but like, is there something you really gunning for and would like to have achieved?
I know this is maybe going to sound super corny, like, or whatever, but I think if I can really add value for the team to be better, and when the team does better, the riders do better, the results are better, and that's kind of where I get my kicks, to be honest. Like, you know, it's, you know, people say, oh, like, who do you coach? And okay, at the moment, I'm lucky to coach some phenomenal guys on the team, but like, I don't really care who I coach. You know, it's like, as long as, so even if it's just like and it's not right to say just a domestique, but even if it's a domestique, you know, his job is to put his nose in the wind or carry bottles or whatever, like, I get a kick if he does that the best. You know, that's kind of my thing. And, you know, now with the new role, it's like, if I can bring stuff together and add value to it, and the outcome is always the result, you know, that to me is really kind of what I get kicked off on that.
I hope.
I know it sounds corny, but it's really true though.
It really it resonates deeply. I think that's a good lesson to leave for anyone watching. Like your drive can't be
just winning.
Shouldn't be the thing. It's like, I'd love to win Tour de France. Like, if that's,
of course you want to.
For that, you won't get the results. It's that.
No, you won't.
If you, I mean, I've read every self-help book there is and watched all the podcasts. There's a constant theme. If you focused on the process, on excellence, on adding value, the money comes.
100%.
Billionaires aren't focused on being billionaires. They're focused on innovating, pioneering, champion. 100%.
Yeah.
And the rest comes.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from someone at the pinnacle of the sports that advice holds true there.
Yeah. But that is really my thing. You know, it was like, as I said, with the development project, it wasn't only me, it was the staff involved, but it was like, we built this thing from a piece of paper, literally. And we got where it was really phenomenally successful. Like, it was, I look back on it and I was like, maybe it was too good, you know, but
set that bar.
Yeah, I like set the bar really high for the next guy who's taken my role. But at the same time, it was like, that's what gave me a kick. I was like, hey man, this was really good, you know? And that, you know, as I said, we didn't win the baby Giro. It was a huge goal of ours, but we were on the podium with it and stuff. And that gave me the same kick as if, you know, and that was because we put things in place, we added value, and the outcome is the riders. You know, and I think if that's, the team is better next year with whatever 2% of my adding, and that 2% is a big reward, then I'm happier.
I sincerely hope the stars will align and we'll somehow be able to do a check-in. I will stay in touch. Any of the European forays we make.
Yes.
Get some status updates as we go, if
Yeah.
we may. Do you keep any social channels up to date with things? Do you vlog at all? Is there?
No, I don't vlog.
I know.
No, I definitely don't do that. I think if you look at my social media, you'd think I need to be in a mental institution, to be honest, because it's typically what goes on in my head. So like, as an example, today I made a post on Instagram on the story which I thought about when I was running this morning. And I was like, well, you know, if Motley Crue made it through the 80s, I'm sure I can do a couple of 10K runs, you know, like a couple of, like 3 times a week. So, if you follow my social media, it's mainly a lot of it's around like 80s, 90s skateboarding, or motocross or whatever. There's some team stuff on, but I go through bursts of updating it.
Yeah.
A lot of it's my dog as well. But it's just kind of like whatever's going on in my head at the time. So there's Instagram, there's Twitter or X or whatever. Okay. But that's like,
we'll put the handles up.
But don't judge me on them. Like that's what I'm gonna ask.
I'm pretty keen to go and see the 80s skating and motocross content.
That's I'm like a big collector of 80s and 90s skateboarding, bodyboarding, and BMX stuff.
I'll show you a picture of I'm not intelligent enough to appreciate fine art.
Yeah.
I love skating decks. My favorite was I'm sure you remember the brand Shorties.
Yes.
They had one with Chad Musko, these feet hanging over this ledge, and they just changed the color of the bottom of them. That deck for me, I would kill for. Yeah. And I had one.
Okay.
And my brother and I, in one of our many fisticuff moments, cut it up with a jigsaw.
Oh, mate. Bro. But you joke, so my era is just before that. So like early 90s, late 80s. And I had a Sol Barbio, which was the last deck in H Street. And I just wanted the board, and I hunted. I shouldn't say this because in case my wife hears, because I do lie about what I pay for the boards and stuff. But
if I die, do not sell them. I told you I paid.
Yeah, exactly that. Well, now I must say, when like a delivery comes, she's just like, she's over it. But I hunted, for months and years for the board, and eventually I found one in Australia on eBay and got it over. And eventually, it cost me quite a lot of money. It was like almost like 2,000 euros to get it and buy it in that. But it was like, I've got it.
Yeah,
that's it. My life's complete.
I've got a couple hung up. I'll send you a pic.
Yeah, I'll send you as well. I have. Probably have like 40 boards from that era.
Okay, I'm not going to send you. Mine's pretty lame. But I found a really neat way to mount them.
Okay, on what?
You might be interested in. There's a guy...
But there's the thing, the prongs, and then you put the wheels through.
No, so he makes a piece of metal that goes up and bends back, and then he makes some mounts, so it goes through the same holes that your trucks would.
Yeah.
And this mount clips onto it, so it's modular. You can move them around, you can hang them up and down. So as long as those rails are throughout your house,
yes,
then you can hang like boxes, and you can put like pot plants in there. You can put other stuff. Phenomenal. Tim Harris Designs, Capetonian. Whatever.
Fair play.
It could be.
Mine are just the standard
when I say
backing
pot plants,
plate.
it's pot.
Yeah,
plants.
Yeah, it's the backing,
era.
And then the like 2 things through the truck holes, and it's gone.
Yeah.
But I've got them like H Street, Pal, Vision. Like I've kind of put them all
Themed
in.
It.
Yeah, all in themes. And then I have like old Mongoose, which I actually feel bad. I actually kind of killed a guy on the hub with it. He had it was a Mongoose expert, and I was like, I really wanted it. And he was like, oh, what's it worth? So someone had sent it to me, and they were like, hey, this oak's, are you interested? And I actually got Daryl, because it was in Joburg. So I phoned Daz, and I was like, hey, mate, I need you to go look at this bike for me. Like, I just want to make sure it's good, that we can refurbish this thing. Because he did the pictures were a bit you knew it was used. And Daz went there, and it's actually criminal what I'm going to say, but I paid 10,000 Rand for the bike. Daryl at his shop and stuff polished it up. It's brand new, and they sell. To be honest, they sell for like 3,000, 4,000 euros. So I feel bad sleeping on my silk pillows, but he had to know what he had, and I offered him. I said, I'll give you 10 grand.
10 grand's a lot of money.
Yeah.
For what I think that's fair.
Correct.
The risk was on you to go and do that.
Correct. So I said to him 10 grand, and then
Lucky day.
He accepted it, and I was like, mate, all day, let's go. And I was like, Dad, you need to go now while the iron's hot.
I think both people thought they got a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. No, he did. So, but it was in good nick. In fairness, like some rust that we polished off and polished the frame and stuff. And
so you're gonna have to send me quite a bit of B-roll content.
Yeah, I'll send you a lot. And the other stuff I have the whole old Vision skate shoe collection. So like DV8, DV9s, 1400s, Converse Cons from back then, and like a couple of Airwalks.
Oh, different era.
Yeah, it's best era in the world.
Yeah, it's tragic how it's literally died.
It has died, yeah.
Even, I mean, I saw, what's his name? Naja, that Nike ambassador.
Yes.
He's kind of, it's not the same. It'll never be the same. Can't go back to that. I mean, your era was before mine.
Yeah, but even the Chad Musk era was good, eh?
Oh, gold and Bonnie Krieger, the Birdhouse, so rad.
Yeah, good times.
Dangerous times. We've got 17, 14, 11-year-old and a 1-year-old. They're growing up at a very different, much more guarded
for sure.
way than we grew up. But man, I would die of boredom if I was there. Boogaloo's back in the day.
Yeah, Boogaloo's, God, that's right.
What a time to be alive.
Boogaloo's.
Tons of roasties, lots of pain, definitely doing things you shouldn't have at a very young age.
All you had to do was be home by the lights were out. That's it, eh?
Golden.
Yeah, never did though.
And there were loads of other kids doing the same dumb shit you were doing, where now it's like...
They don't do it, eh?
Kids are scared to post, let alone to go out and...
It's actually sad.
Be risky.
You know, it's the same...
Appetite for risk is diminished.
Like, it's the same, you know, when you have young kids, like obviously the pro peloton is younger and younger, and you have these kids that are like 16, 17 years old, and it's just that. And you're like, mate, you need to...
look at football, look at anything.
You need to go get your heart broken, you know, at the end of the day. Like,
problem is they're going to be doing that when they're 35.
Yeah, but or less, actually. I think by 30, you know, retirement will come for riders. And the problem is, what do you do when you've had no street smarts? That to me is the biggest concern.
Could be your next venture.
Yeah, no, mate. By then I'm done, man. I'm marrying rich or something. I don't know. I don't care.
The After Cycling Academy.
No,
Mr. John.
There's nothing like that coming. It's the Leave Me Alone Cycling Academy, and we have no one there. No, mate. When I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah,
that's it. I can tell you that now.
Well, I'm glad you're not done anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, easy.
I really hope. I'm not an avid Red Bull fan across any discipline of sport.
Okay.
Which really annoys me because I now will find myself cheering them on.
That's right.
That is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
They just win at everything. It's like I'm pro the underdog.
No, but at the moment we're the underdog. UAE's the dog. We're the underdog. So you have to get behind.
So likable, man.
Yeah.
How do you not cheer for Teddy? He does everything we want him to do.
No, it's a fantastic. I can't argue a single point on that.
Which is also annoying. It's like it's too
exactly. It's like, you know, either be good or be an arsehole. Don't be, you know, like that's it. It's like
he's just there, perfect.
Yeah.
I will be rooting for you.
You have to.
Wish you the best of luck.
And your club has to root for us.
Yeah,
you have to put that out in your weekly
like
newsletter.
I said, those posters update. So hopefully we can, when the season starts, we can get some Red Bull approved content we can put up on the wall.
I'll just send you a selfie or whatever.
Please. Yeah. Thanks so much for coming through.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. It's brief, so carving it out. Alex, thank you again. You are my eternal hero.
We'll speak later, Alex.
Have a lekker dinner. Hope you are seeing Alex.
Yeah, I have seen him, unfortunately. He cost me a very expensive dinner 2-3 nights ago.
Good.
Yeah.
Well earned.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to hear the banter between the two of you. That must date.
Yeah, but then there's no cameras, eh?
Yeah.
There's no cameras, there's no phones. You go in a soundproof room and then we can talk.
3 cigars, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
John, thanks.
It's a pleasure. Really thank you.
Appreciate it.